CBS Young, and the Restless spoilers. Next 2 week, full August, 17 to the 28th of August, 2026. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. It is a beautiful, crazy day to dive into the absolute madness that is Genoa City. Grab your coffee, your tea, or maybe something stronger, because we have so much to unpack today. I am buzzing with energy, and I just need to vent. I am literally shaking with rage and excitement after watching the new promo for the week of August 17th to the 21st. I cannot even process my thoughts properly because my brain is just screaming at the screen. I mean, are you kidding me with this Billy Abbott nonsense? I have been watching this show for years, and I swear to you, Billy is stuck in a never-ending time loop of his own massive, fragile ego. We open the promo with him sitting at the GCAC bar, looking so incredibly smug, swirling his little drink and acting like he just conquered the entire universe. And I just want to reach through the screen and shake him. Why is he celebrating? Because he dropped a bomb on Lillian Kane on Friday, August 14th, claiming that the Abbotts technically own Chancellor Industries because of some ancient unpaid bailout from John Abbott. But wait, he hasn't even legally won yet. He is celebrating a victory that hasn't even been finalized in court. Typical, classic Billy. But let's really break this down, because I am so fired up right now. Billy is literally sitting there at the Genoa City Athletic Club, radiating this toxic level of arrogance that only an Abbott man who hasn't earned his keep can radiate. He invites Audra Charles over to have a drink with him so he can brag. Audra Charles? Why is he telling Audra? Because Billy is completely incapable of keeping his mouth shut when he thinks he is the smartest guy in the room. He just has to gloat. He tells Audra that he is celebrating something amazing, and you can see the absolute shock on her face when he starts explaining the Chancellor situation. And honestly, Audra's reaction is all of us. She is looking at him like he has 3 heads, probably calculating exactly how she can use this massive corporate earthquake to her own advantage. Because let's be real, Audra doesn't do anything unless it benefits Audra. I'm sorry, but am I the only one who is completely exhausted by Billy's constant need to self-sabotage and ruin everyone else's happiness? Lily and Kane were literally just toasting to their new adventures and their success with Chancellor. They were having a moment. A real, genuine moment of victory after dealing with Devon leaving Winters and all the chaotic family drama. And Billy just has to crash the party. He couldn't stand the idea of Kane Ashby being successful. Billy's jealousy of Kane is so deeply rooted and so incredibly pathetic at this point. He is engaged to Sally Spectra. They are expecting a baby. He should be focusing on his family and his future. But instead, he is obsessing over a company that Jill has been trying to manage, and a rivalry that he should have outgrown 10 years ago. It is absolutely infuriating to watch him repeat the same mistakes. And let's talk about the sheer audacity of Billy using John Abbott's legacy as a weapon. John Abbott was a good man, a man of integrity, and Billy is using an old financial bailout as a loophole to launch a hostile takeover and destroy his ex-wife's happiness. It makes me sick. I know some people are loving this ruthless corporate Billy era, but personally, I think it just shows how empty he is inside. He doesn't want Chancellor because he's a great businessman. He wants it because he wants to beat Kane, and he wants to prove something to Jill. He is celebrating early, which in soap opera rules means he is absolutely going to fall flat on his face. Audra is sitting there taking mental notes, and you just know she is going to take this information and run with it. Will she tell Victor? Will she use it to blackmail Billy? Audra is a shark, and Billy just handed her a bucket of chum on a silver platter. Wait, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's take a breath and move on to the second part of the promo, which actually made me scream with joy at my television. Nate Hastings is going back to medicine. Yes, finally. Oh my god, I could literally cry tears of joy. For years now, we have had to endure Nate's corporate villain era, and I hated every single second of it. I hated him betraying Devon. I hated him scheming with Victoria Newman. I hated him acting like this cutthroat boardroom shark when we all know that his true calling, his true passion, is saving lives. The promo shows him with Dr. Stephanie Simmons, and he finally says it out loud. He has decided to return to the medical field. I am so here for this. This is the best decision the writers have made for Nate in years, and I am totally ready to support his redemption arc. But it's not going to be easy, and the promo makes that very clear. Nate reveals that he has to undergo an experimental surgery on his hand before he can officially be reinstated as a surgeon. Remember how his hand got messed up in the first place? That brutal fight with Devon that shattered his tendons and ended his surgical career. It was such a tragic storyline, and it completely altered his personality. But now, inspired by Devon's shocking decision to leave the corporate world and start a non-profit, Nate is realizing that life is too short to spend it in a boardroom fighting over spreadsheets when he has a God-given gift for healing. The poetry of Devon's exit, inspiring Nate's return to his true self, is just beautiful storytelling. I have to give the writers major credit for that parallel. And the look on Stephanie Simmons's face when Nate tells her, she is absolutely beaming. She looks so thrilled and surprised, but also like, I told you so, because Stephanie has been pushing him to do this for a while now. Ever since they reconnected over their shared history with Nate's mother, the legendary doctor, Olivia Winters, Stephanie has been reminding Nate of who he really is. She saw right through the corporate suits and the Newman Enterprises bravado. She knew the real Nate was still in there, the brilliant surgeon who just wanted to help people. Having Stephanie be the one to guide him back to this path is so perfect. It honors Olivia's legacy, and it gives Nate a chance at real, tangible redemption that he desperately needs. Okay, back to the point about the surgery. An experimental surgery is a massive risk. What if it doesn't work? What if it makes his hand worse? The stakes are incredibly high here. If Nate goes through this painful, risky procedure and it fails, it could completely break him mentally. He is putting all his hopes and dreams on this one experimental procedure. But if it succeeds, imagine the emotional payoff. Imagine Nate walking back into Genoa City Memorial Hospital in his scrubs. Imagine Lily's pride. Lily has been his rock through all of this, encouraging him to follow his heart. I am so emotionally invested in this storyline. I need Nate to hold a scalpel again. I need him to save a life and realize that this is where he belongs. The anxiety of waiting to see if this surgery works is going to kill me, but I am so ready for the journey. But wait, we haven't even gotten to the best part of the promo. The final scene. The absolute climax that made me drop my phone on the floor. We cut to the GC shadow room. By the way, how weird is it that Danny Romalotti is managing a nightclub now? I still can't get used to it, but whatever, I'll accept it for now. We see Christine Blair and Tracy Abbott sitting together, having what looks like a much-needed girls' night. Cricket is talking about everything the Abbott family has been through lately, and Tracy sighs and admits that this is exactly why she needed a relaxing night out. And Tracy Abbott deserves a relaxing decade out, okay? I need to go off on a massive tangent here, because the Abbott family has been put through absolute hell recently, and Tracy has been carrying the emotional weight of it all on her shoulders. Think about what this poor woman has endured in just the last few months. Jack was kidnapped and nearly killed by Victor Newman. Then Diane was ambushed and kidnapped by the psychotic doctor, Lawrence Markham, who made everyone think she was having a mental breakdown. Then Patty Williams, freaking Patty Williams, the absolute bane of the Abbott's existence, comes back into the picture, blackmailing Jack for sex and teaming up with Markham. And then, as if that wasn't enough, Ashley comes back from Paris only to have her daughter Abby and her grandson Dominic kidnapped by Patty and Markham. The level of trauma is off the charts. It is a miracle Tracy hasn't completely collapsed under the pressure. Tracy has been the absolute rock through all of this madness. She even volunteered to take a massive, terrifying risk by reaching out to the psychopath Martin Laurent, hoping to use his past obsession with her to find out where Markham is hiding. Tracy is a novelist, a sweet, gentle soul, and she is out here playing psychological chess with serial killers to save her family. So yes, when Tracy sits in the shadow room and says she needs a drink and a night out, give the woman the entire bottle. Give her the whole bar. She has been holding Jack together, holding Ashley together, and trying to keep the Abbott legacy from completely imploding while Billy is off playing stupid corporate games. Tracy is the MVP of Genoa City right now, and I will not hear otherwise. So, Tracy and Cricket are sitting there, commiserating. Cricket has had her own drama, obviously, with Phyllis framing her with that insane AI scheme, and now dealing with Danny's midlife crisis career change. These two women are legacy characters, the heart and soul of Genoa City, and seeing them share a scene is always a treat. But then, the moment happens. A voice from behind them says, "We both do." Tracy turns around, her face lights up with pure, unadulterated joy, and there she is, Nina Webster. Nina is back. I cannot breathe. I literally screamed at the top of my lungs. Nina Webster standing there in the shadow room. Tracy jumps up. They share this massive, heartwarming hug, and Cricket is just clapping and smiling in the background. It is a reunion of the ultimate Genoa City survivors. But my brain immediately started racing at 1,000,000 miles an hour. Why is Nina in town? Nina doesn't just show up for a casual drink. There is always a reason. Is it about chance? Is it about some unfinished business? Or is she here to help Cricket deal with the absolute mess that is her life right now? The timing is just too suspicious for it to be a random visit. Let's really think about this. Nina has so much history with everyone in this town. She has history with the Abbotts. She has deep, unbreakable ties to Cricket and Danny. With Danny managing the Shadow Room now, maybe Nina is here to support him. Or maybe she's here to talk some sense into him. Remember the legendary love triangle between Danny, Cricket, and Nina back in the day? The history there is so rich and complicated. Seeing the three of them in the same orbit again is a soap opera fan's dream come true. I have been watching since the days when these storylines defined daytime television, and bringing Nina back right now feels incredibly strategic. It feels like the writers are setting up a massive nostalgia bomb, and I am entirely here for it. And what about Phyllis? Oh my god, if Nina crosses paths with Phyllis Summers right now, it is going to be explosive. Phyllis is backed into a corner by Victor. She's losing her company. She's spiraling out of control. Nina has never been one to back down from a fight, and she loves Cricket fiercely. If Nina finds out what Phyllis did to Cricket with that AI framing nonsense, Nina might just tear Phyllis apart with her bare hands. I am manifesting a Nina and Phyllis showdown. We need it. The fans demand it. Phyllis needs someone to put her in her place who isn't Victor Newman, and Nina has the guts to do it. I also wonder if Nina's return has anything to do with the massive Chancellor corporate war that Billy is starting. Nina has ties to the Chancellor legacy through her history with Philip Chancellor III. If Billy is trying to claim that the Abbot's own Chancellor, could Nina have some old document, some piece of history, or some legal standing that could throw a wrench into Billy's smug little plans? Imagine if Nina is the one who stops Billy in his tracks. That would be the ultimate plot twist. Billy thinks he has Lily and Kane beat. He's celebrating with Audra, and then bam. Nina Webster walks in with a legal injunction. I would throw a party in my living room if that happened. Please, writers, let Nina destroy Billy's corporate dreams. It's just so wild to see how all these storylines are colliding right now. You have Billy's corporate greed intersecting with Lily and Kane's fresh start. You have Nate seeking redemption in the medical field, while Devon seeks peace in a non-profit. You have the Abbotts drowning in psychological warfare with Patty and Markham, and now the legacy characters like Nina are returning to the fold to support Cricket and Tracy. This is what The Young and the Restless does best. They weave this massive tapestry of history and current drama, and when it hits hard. I feel like we are entering a golden era of storytelling again, and my emotions are all over the place. I am counting down the minutes until Monday's episode. I need to see exactly what Audra says to Billy. I need to see if she immediately plots to steal his leverage or if she plays along. I need to see Nate scheduling that experimental surgery and confronting his fears. And most importantly, I need to know why Nina Webster is standing in the Shadow Room looking like $1,000,000. The writers are setting up an incredibly explosive fall season, and I am strapped in for the ride. I know I complain a lot, especially about Billy, because honestly, he drives me insane, but it's only because I care so much about these characters. I've grown up with them. I feel their victories and their traumas. And right now, Genoa City is a powder keg waiting to explode. Let's go! I'll be waiting in the forums to discuss every single second of it with you guys.